Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a news video covering two brand new Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast figures. Let's start off with Bumblebee. So of course, and these were just revealed, and we did have some leaked pictures, I think, of Bumblebee and a battle trap for a while now. Of course, not the best pictures, but here they are finally on Hasbro Pulse, and you can purchase these. So let's go, starting off with Bumblebee. I have to admit, I don't really like this one. Of course, I've never really been that big a fan of the movie toys. I do like the movies in themselves. Of course, they're not the greatest Transformer movies ever, but they are pretty entertaining and fun to watch. But the toys, never been the biggest fan, and I might give a few of these figures a chance. I actually quite like Battletrap. He actually looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to pre-order him right away, but maybe if I see him in a store sometime, I'll give him a chance. But this Bumblebee, probably not, unless they change quite a few things. So let's get right into the details, and then, of course, we'll get into the release date and the price and everything like that. So starting off, the details, of course, the classic Bumblebee look. We have the door wings. Of course, the entire front car piece is at the chest, like it usually is, and the legs do seem to be pretty classic to Bumblebee. I'm not sure if this is a brand new mold. Of course, I don't have any of the Studio Series Bumblebee, and I know if they've made a ton of those. They made a ton of repaints of those. But this does seem vaguely familiar because I do watch some Studio Series reviews sometime off and on. And the feet design does seem vaguely familiar to some previous Studio Series Bumblebees. So this could be a repaint, redeco of a previous Studio Series version, or it could be a brand new mold. But the things I don't like, I do not like the eyes whatsoever on this Bumblebee. I'm not sure if they were going for the sort of bug-like look to him, but they really should have put like some, black on his eyes or some Camino gray or something, because the just two giant blue dots for his eyes look super weird to me. It just does not look good whatsoever. I think probably a lot of people can agree with that as well. And if you're wondering if he has back kibble, you can obviously tell right there in between the chest and arm. You can see there's some kibble behind there. I'm assuming that's the entire kind of canopy off-road section of the vehicle, so there probably will be some back kibble. And another thing I don't like is how kind of stock and bland the arms look. You can obviously already tell he does not have a wrist rotation, and it just kind of seems super boring and kind of bland of his arm. Of course, they just seem super plain. I really wish they had done some better details with the fingers. Yes, typically deluxes have a pretty plain hand design, but it's just a straight circle, very plain and boring. I do like the silver and the little nut and bolt design. That does look good, but I really, yes, of course, I do not have this figure, but I really think they probably could have included a wrist rotation in this figure. I think it probably would have not compromised the transformation whatsoever. But honestly, my biggest complaint would have to be the eyes. That just looks super weird in my opinion. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Of course, the release date is pretty far away. It's April 1st, so hopefully maybe they'll change it by then. This is just a digital picture, a digital rendering of a stock photo, so hopefully they'll change it by then. Let me know if the eyes bother you with Bumblebee. It just looks really bad to me. It looks kind of dorky, so hopefully they'll change that. But everything else looks pretty good. I do like the door wings. Of course, you can't see the wheels are there. I think they are mushroom peg. You can already see those are probably mushroom peg. Not sure about these wheels on his legs, but everything else looks pretty good. Of course, you do have to be aware there is some back kibble. So there's a few things in my opinion, have wrong with it, but it looks okay. Of course, let's move on to the vehicle mode, which I actually really, really do like this vehicle mode. And if you don't know, of course, I guess I'll say spoiler warning, because there was a trailer released recently of the Rise of the Beast movie, and if you didn't watch it, spoiler warning if you don't want to know. There was a brief scene when Cheetor and this Bumblebee were kind of riding in a field alongside each other, with each other, and of course he had his off-road Bumblebee look. And it does seem to me in the trailer that Bumblebee will have like two looks. He'll have his kind of old Camaro look in like the movie 1 Michael Bay movie, and of course he'll have this look. This might be for his battle, and of course, the other one might be for disguise. But I actually really do like it. The whole cage kind of canopy section on the window actually looks super good, in my opinion. Of course, you can see there's some headlights there. It would have been nice maybe if the inner circle part was painted like silver or something. And there's some more of this kind of cage wire design at the front of the hood with some more lights. And the wheels, I think they are mushroom peg, if you're wondering. I'm pretty sure they are. But overall, I actually really do like this vehicle mode. It actually looks super cool in my opinion. That's pretty much it for detail-wise. Unfortunately, both figures of Battletrap and Bumblebee, they only posted 2 stock photos, so that's a bit unfortunate. And of course, now on to the typical information. Release date is April 1st, 2023. And if you're super bummed about that, I honestly think probably it will be sooner. What they've been doing recently with Hasbro Pulse is they've been seeing the furthest date possible, the latest date, of course, that it would actually come out. But I think it will be sooner because they don't want to say an early date and it not happen and disappoint, of course, their buyers, the customers. So they say the furthest date possible, and of course, when it ships early, you're super happy. So I think probably it'll be about February or maybe even late January is a possibility. That's just my opinion. Don't take my word for it. And of course, price is $25. And yes, this is a part of the Studio Series line. I know there's been a lot of speculation over the past while, like what is the line that this Rise of the Beast toys are going to be a part of? Is it going to be a separate line? Is it going to be a part of Studio Series? And there you go, it is going to be a part of Studio Series. This is the 100th figure, which is pretty exciting, kind of cool milestone. And there's another really cool detail that I found, a bit of an Easter egg. So I'm going to say spoiler warning now because there is some Easter eggs in the description of this figure, and there's some Easter eggs in the description of Battletrap. So I will say it again whenever I cover Battletrap. I will show the description, and there is some Easter eggs. They could spoil the movie. I'm going to say them. Of course, what I'm about to say could have, a very small part of the movie, or it could have a huge part of the movie. So I don't want to make anyone mad. So as you know, of course, if you're a Studio Series collector, every figure, or of course, besides the core classes, come with a big backdrop, and it appears they're keeping that same trend with this figure. And it says, pose the Bumblebee toy in the included Volcano Showdown removable backdrop scene. So, apparently, of course, we're going to have a huge volcano battle in the movie. Because, of course, if you don't know, all the Studio Series figures have a backdrop from a scene in the movie. Mostly, of course, their most iconic scene. Like, of course, with the Studio Series The Fallen, he had his backdrop be the pyramids because that was one of his most iconic scenes. So, it appears this could be a very big scene for Bumblebee, possibly in the Rise of the Beast movie. And again, I will show the description with Battletrap, and I will give you a warning ahead of time if you don't want to know, because there is actually probably a pretty big Easter egg in there. I'm actually surprised they put it in there, so I will again warn you. But that is pretty much it for Bumblebee. Not a big fan of the robot mode in my opinion, but I actually really do like the vehicle mode. It looks super cool. Let me know what you think of this Bumblebee in the comment section down below. Also, again, I don't have that many Studio Series figures, so I do apologize if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments, is this a repaint or is this a brand new mold? Just from recent, just from reviews I've seen, it just seems vaguely familiar that this is a repaint, remold of a Bumblebee. I could be wrong. Who knows? Let's now move on to the last or second Rise of the Beast figure, which I think is miles better than this Bumblebee. I think it actually looks super cool, is of course a Voyager Battletrap, which is also part of the Rise of the Beast movie. He was actually, I'm pretty sure, present in the trailer for Rise of the Beast quite recently, a few times I think, and he actually looks really cool. So just quickly covering the details. Of course, unfortunately, he only has 2 pictures, so there's not a lot to show, and really, I would say not a lot to talk about, but I do like the head sculpt. That actually looks super menacing and scary. Love the red and the gunmetal gray and all of the spikes. You can actually see there's these really cool silver canisters. I think that might be the engine block from the car mode or truck, and that looks super cool. And of course, as we would expect, the entire front of the truck is his chest, and I actually do quite like that. And if you're wondering his accessories, it's this big hook weapon, which I think is probably my least favorite accessory of the 2. I actually quite like this whole mace ball. And then I'm really hoping, even if I don't get this, even if I do, I'm hoping this isn't just a straight up repaint, redeco of Legacy Bulkhead's mace. If you're wondering, most people know, of course, that was based off the Transformers Prime show, and he had a mace. And I'm hoping this isn't just a repaint. I'm hoping it's a brand new mold. But I do think, of course, don't get me wrong, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm suspecting if this is removable, I'm pretty sure this mace can be taken off his hand. I don't think it's a permanent accessory on his arm. It probably will work just like Bulkhead, of course. If you have that figure, you know what I'm talking about. You put the hand in, of course, the peg, and it kind of just wraps around the hand. I'm pretty sure that will probably work that way. And that's fine, because I think it looks pretty good with Bulkhead, and if it works, it works. I don't have any problems with that. My only problem would be if it's just a repaint. Hopefully it's a brand new molded mace accessory. But again, the engineering of how it incorporates into his hand will probably be the same, I'm expecting, because I think it works fine. but everything else is pretty cool. As you can see, not that much kibble and also not that much hollowness. Actually, due to the pose, you can see quite a bit of the inside of the leg, which is where, of course, most of the waffling and the hollowness is. That's where most people have the problem. And actually, he appears to be quite solid. Not that much waffling, not that much emptiness whatsoever. He is sitting at a bit of an interesting pose. There is some angles that are kind of hard to show, but overall, he looks pretty cool. I would say he's definitely my favorite of the two. And he doesn't appear to have that much back cable. As you can see, there is a bit behind the head or neck region, but not too much. Again, due to his, interesting battle pose, I really wish they had put sort of a straight, flat and neutral pose to show more of the details, because, his legs are kind of scrunched up a bit. Due to how he looks, it doesn't seem like he has that much kibble on the back. But that's pretty much it detail-wise. Let's now get down to the vehicle mode, which I think looks pretty cool, and in my opinion, I think I probably like Bumblebee's just a tad bit more, but I do like this one. It's a truck, of course. You can see you can store the hook accessory and the whole mace on the back, so he's supposed to be like a tow truck, but of course he has some random mace back there. Humans are probably questioning that, and he does have a little kind of logo or company logo, Bernie's, I'm pretty sure that says, so he probably scanned a vehicle when he came to Earth, and it was that company truck, so that's pretty cool that they put it there. And I actually really do like there's some little headlights on the top. There's a whole engine block on the front of the hood. And I actually do quite like it. The mixture of orange and black looks super cool. And I do think, I could be wrong, but from the pictures, it does seem like these are not mushroom peg wheels, which is actually really cool to see. All four wheels are not mushroom peg, which is really nice to see. Again, I could be wrong. There's only two pictures, so it's pretty hard to tell. But just from the angles and the pictures, it does seem like they're not mushroom peg. And that is pretty much it for detail-wise. I definitely like this figure much more than the Bumblebee. Hopefully they change the whole head with Bumblebee. Again, I cannot get over that. Just looks so weird in my opinion. But that's pretty much it for details. So release date is the same as Bumblebee, April 1st, 2023. Price, of course, is a Voyager, or a inflated Voyager price now. So about $35. And again, I think the price will change, as I said before. Typically, they say the latest date possible because they don't want to disappoint people. If they say an early date and it changes, of course, or delays. So I think it could probably be earlier. Of course, this is not an exclusive figure, so you can get this from Amazon, Big Red Toy Store, tons of sites that could get it earlier. So I'm going to give a spoiler warning because there is two, I would say, I guess, Easter eggs or possible spoilers in the description. So if you don't want to know, like, anything about Rise of the Beast, if you just want to go into that movie, knowing absolutely nothing, just do not listen to what I'm saying. And of course, if you're wondering when the video is over, if you want to watch the whole thing, I'm just going to cover this description, and then the video will pretty much be over. So you could probably stop now if you don't want to know any of this, and the video will be over. So I did give a thorough warning, so don't get mad at me in the comments. So the first one is actually pretty cool, and I'm wondering what this means. So Battletrap fires a barrage of blasts at Noah and Elena, I'm pretty sure, or Elena. I'm pretty sure that's the name, Elena, to secure the transwarp key. So that could mean something pretty interesting. Again, that could be a huge part of the plot, the transwarp key, or it could be a very minor part of the plot of the Rise of the Beast movies. So it seems he is going after, I think those are the main humans, Elena and Noah, those are the main human characters, which we did see briefly in the trailer. And I guess maybe they found the transwarp key, or maybe Optimus gave it to them to keep safe, something like that. And maybe this is just like a modern interpretation of like the key to Vector Sigma. Maybe they didn't want to keep that same name. Maybe it's the key to Vector Sigma. That could be something like that. And the second one, which is, I would say, much, much smaller of an Easter egg, it's just his backdrop. It says his backdrop is the included attack at the museum removable backdrop. So there's going to be a battle at a museum, which I think we did see sort of a kind of a library museum, building in the trailer briefly. I think we did, where there was, I'm pretty sure, Scourge, so that one I would say is not the biggest of Easter eggs. But that whole transwarp key, that is interesting. So definitely for if you want to know more Easter eggs, honestly I would highly suggest read the description with these figures, because of course before, all the Studio Series figures, they were of movies that we've already seen, like Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction. Most Transformers fans have seen those already, but of course these figures are coming out before the movie is even out. We haven't even seen it, so they could put more small little Easter eggs in here that could actually mean quite a bit, and I'm actually really glad I read these descriptions. And that is pretty much it for this news video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I've been kind of talking a while, seems like. Hopefully you enjoyed this news video, and I'm going to continue to cover Rise of the Beast. Even if I don't buy these figures, I know I probably don't cover Studio Series as much as I should. I typically will cover Legacy because I buy those figures. And maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll buy a Battle Trap. Honestly, if I had to choose, if I had to buy just one right now, I would definitely buy Battle Trap over Bumblebee. That is just my opinion. Let me know what you think of these figures in the comments section down below. And of course, if more figures come out, I will do some news videos. And yes, I know Battle Trap, probably he has been surfacing around for a while in the news world. I didn't cover it because I was waiting to get some more information. Typically that's what I do. If there was just been like one picture, it was just like one picture of him in his robot mode. I didn't cover it because there was no release date, there was no picture of his alt mode, there was no price, so I thought I'd wait for better pictures and of course more information, and I'm glad I did. But of course, that going forward, if there's some more leaks and there's some, quality images, I will show it. But I'm not going to do a whole video if it's just one crappy picture. That just seems kind of pointless. So, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of these figures in the comment section down below. Which one do you like more? What do you think of Bumblebee? What do you think of Battle Trap? Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.